Any tips for staying productive while you work from home? Okay, she says you don't have to answer this one. I go on to the next question. Do you think your travel business will replace the crafting business? It's one goal you're working on this year. That's a really good question. That has definitely been a struggle the last few years, or 2 or 3 years has really hit me. Good morning and welcome back to a new vlog. It's going to be a little Q&A for you today. I went on to my Patreon community and asked if anyone had some questions. I thought it'd be quite nice, we haven't done one of these for ages, so go and grab yourself a cup of tea and sit cozy. I've got myself all cozy here. I'm actually drinking a Pepsi. I've had my coffee already this morning, so I thought I would just go through and have a little chatty one with you today. So I really hope you'll enjoy this, and thank you to my lovely community for those of you that have asked some questions. I think it's going to be a little bit of glasses on and glasses off for this. So I'm going to go through them. It's a nice mixture of everything from what I've seen. So I'm going to pop this up here with my phone, then I can see it. So what's your favourite Disney park and why? Now that changes with every single trip for us. I think you get a certain feel sometimes. I love Magic Kingdom. It's my favourite one just to mooch. I'm not even that fussed with the rides. I just love being there. I love being there for the atmosphere and the snacks. I could just spend all day just people watching and having coffee and snacks, to be honest with you. I worry sometimes the vlogs are a little bit boring because we enjoy just hanging out, and even actually I'm editing some of the family vlogs. We even just leave them to do the rides sometimes because we just enjoy hanging around, which is quite amusing because we've been accused before of using my sister for her DAS pass, only taking her on a trip so we can use their DAS pass, and actually we prefer not doing racing around all the rides. They love doing all the rides and getting the passes and going from one ride to the next. We just enjoy a slower pace. So for us it's definitely not just about the rides, it's just being there. We love it. But yeah, favourite park at the moment apart from Magic Kingdom, it's been Animal Kingdom the last few trips. We tend to find that at the end of each trip we think, oh, so and so was our favourite park this time, and they've all taken turns on various trips. But Animal Kingdom has been up there for the best days actually. The last few trips it's been quieter, and it's just the bubbly atmosphere. It's just magical. It's electric, it's exciting, all the music playing, the dancing. I just love Animal Kingdom, I really do. And again, it's a slower day. We love just wandering around and looking at things and speaking to cast members and grabbing a snack. Really like it. There's not even that many rides there. And that's another park actually there. We let the family go on Flight of Passage. We went and got Starbucks actually and wandered around Tree of Life. So yeah, I think we do our parks at a different pace these days. We just really enjoy doing it that way. Everyone's different though, aren't they? Let me know, what is your favourite park in Animal Kingdom, in Disney World? I'd love to know, and why. Tell me why. All right, what's the next one? What one Disney park tip everyone should know? Don't try and get everything done on your trip, because then you tend not to enjoy everything. I think just enjoy what you do and don't panic about doing it all. Our very first trip, it was before social media days, it was 2007, so it was literally you arrived not knowing anything with a park map as you enter the park. We didn't even get over to one side of the park, but we enjoyed what we did. And I think also focusing too much on rides, you do end up zigzagging. Oh, that's got a lower wait time, so then you go over there. And especially when the park's really hot, it's exhausting. And I think also listen to your bodies as well. If you're tired, take a break. Even if it means just going and sitting out somewhere with a drink and relaxing, or going into an attraction. For example, a great tip in Magic Kingdom, if you're exhausted, go into an attraction and like Country Bears, Tiki Room, or go into Philomar Magic and actually sit down for sort of 10-15 minutes, get some aircon and rest your feet. I've had a snooze in Hollywood Studios before in the Waltz walkthrough bit. I can't think what it's called, and it's got a little theatre And it sounds really bad, but yeah, I've snoozed in there before. I've snoozed in a few shows, and you wake up feeling so much more refreshed. Other little tips I'd give on hot days: walk through shops to get from one end of the place to the other, just to get that aircon break, definitely. Another little tip is that even if you aren't staying on site at Disney, you can still use all the transportation there for free, and you can visit the resorts. You obviously can't park at a resort, you can't take your car there unless you are staying there or you have a dining reservation, but you can go and from one park get onto like the boat or the bus or something to visit one of the resorts. You can wander around, you can eat in the restaurants there, you can grab a drink at the bars, you can wander around the stores, but you can't use the swimming pools. But just go and enjoy the resorts, go and explore, and you might find that you find yourself thinking, oh my gosh, I want to stay here one day. So definitely, they've each got their own smells, their own atmospheres. There's just so much to see and do. So don't write off the resorts. Go and check them out. They're really, really fun places to visit. And it's a really nice way to have some downtime from the parks as well. A little tip: if you are in Epcot, there is actually an exit entrance between England and France. It's called the International Gateway. You can leave and come and go out of there. There is a boat there, there's a Skyliner there, but you can also walk to Beach Club and the boardwalk. The boardwalk is so much fun. You've got evening entertainment, there's a bakery, there's an ice cream place, and it's just really, really lovely. A few little shops and that, so I really recommend having a little wander around there as well. The next one is, how do I stay organised with all my different projects? I have a lot of lists. I cannot function without my list. I have my planner. My monthly planner is always open on my desk. I also have just an ideas a little planner as well. It's more like a long sticky notepad thing with Monday through to Friday on there, or Monday through to Sunday. But I have little like ideas on there of journal videos I would like to film, which obviously are different projects that I'd like to do. So like my Germany one, I've got an idea. I want to create a mini book for our German trip using a Happy Mail box that Aid bought me back last year. And I still haven't done that, but it's on my little list, so I know I need to do it. So I have little projects all listed out. I also have a daily to-do list as well, so, and I have like a little weekly idea. So I have a lot of lists, which definitely helps. I also have a list here actually in with my papers here, my scrapbooking papers, which has projects that I need to finish as well. So that's there. So lots and lots of lists. I cannot function without a list. What are my favourite journaling supplies? I love these black V-ball pens. That's my favourite pen to write with. I don't know, I go through phases with supplies. I'm loving more papers at the moment, but vintage. I think vintage is my favourite thing at the moment. Little bits and pieces that you find. I love it when I have like tickets. I love book pages, maps. Anything like that just really, really excites me. Unusual things, I think, like if you find like an old vintage set of buttons, but you've got the backing there as well. I'm loving trimmings at the moment. Trimmings make me really, really excited. Anything where I can make little charms. It's bits and pieces. That's what I like. So nothing in particular. That makes me really, really happy at the moment. I definitely go through phases. Right, what's the next question? How do you balance work and home life? I don't. I've been working for myself now since 2003 and I still haven't found that balance. I think my problem is my business overlaps with my passions and my hobbies so much, so it's very hard to draw a line. So I never actually come into my studio space here, my craft room, and just create for me, because every time I create, that could be a video, which then helps me out because it means then if I get something filmed ahead, that gives me then more downtime, if that makes sense. So I don't ever just come in and create for me because that feels like a waste of time, but I love what I do. So I do find it really, really hard to find that balance. And I do too many things, I know that. But I enjoy what I do, so it's really, really hard to break away. I'm a very excited person. As much as I talk about I'd like a slow life, I don't know if I ever would, because I don't think I am a slow person. I'm more of a fast, excitable person, if that makes sense. I don't think I can actually do slow. Any tips for staying productive while you work from home? Definitely get up and ready in the mornings and have a routine. I think a routine is really, really important. Get up, ready. I've always done my hair and makeup and got dressed as if I'm going out to work, always. I even, in my old place where I used to live, I even used to take a handbag to work sometimes and just leave it on the sofa. I had a bit more of a distance to go to work then though, when I had my big craft studio downstairs. But I just find that helps you. And have a list, so you've got so you can work your way through the list so you can see the end of your day. If you're struggling, take a break and go and get some fresh air or something like that. Sometimes I find that I do actually go and sit on the sofa in the kitchen or something with a drink, and even sometimes changing my work. So if I am struggling at my desk, I might then go and work at the table in the kitchen, for example. And just that change of scenery really, really helps. My biggest problem with working from home are family phone calls. I can sometimes spend over 3-4 hours on the phone because they all call me, which sometimes some members call me more than once or twice a day, and I find that really, really hard. So that is one of my biggest problems with working from home. Where do you get inspiration for new craft kits? I remember I started my business, funnily enough, it's a family phone call. That was quite iconic, wasn't it? So yeah, I remember I started my business 10 years ago, and I remember I did a little bit of an evening thing with some friends, just to showcase what I was doing and all that with my monthly boxes. I was when I started doing the craft monthly boxes, and one person said, how are you going to find a different theme every single month? I think you'll struggle. 10 years later, and I've still just got loads of ideas. I think I just have a really, really busy head, and I get very excited, and I also kind of create what excites me. So I kind of always hope that the people that buy my kits are similar to me. So like, for example, next month we've got one, and you kind of do them seasonally as well. Sometimes I get a bit bored with the seasonal ones, but I know it's what's wanted, like pumpkins in around this October time. But I've got some new ideas coming up. I wanted to do a strawberry shortcake one, actually. I'm really excited to do that. So that's one that's coming up. We've got a singing in the rain coming up in April, which I'm really excited about, with clouds and sunshine. Yeah, I did think about doing a breakfast one. I've never done one like that. I don't know, but if you've got any ideas, anyone watching this, if you like my kits, any ideas that I haven't done. Sometimes I've done it before, and people have said a guinea pig one. I'm never going to do something like that, because you might get maybe a handful of people that would like that. You've got to create something that will excite the majority of people. So yeah, a guinea pig or a horse one is not one. I've done a cats and dogs years ago. Yeah, you need to try and do something that the majority of people are going to like. Right, what is the next one? What's the most challenging part of running a craft business? I would say now it's having companies like AliExpress, Shein, Temu, things like that, because people can obviously go to those companies and buy much, much cheaper. The other part has been price increase. Brexit was the first huge challenge. Lost a lot of business then, and also prices really started increasing. I would also say then just general prices increasing, like COVID and things. I did really well over COVID, very well, and I always knew when life went back to normal that would hit me. So it really did. Yeah, when people started going back to work, people were then too busy to craft, and obviously financially everyone's been hit, and doing a craft is a little bit of luxury, so it's something that you can easily knock off. So that has definitely been a struggle the last few years, or 2 or 3 years has really, really hit me. And now things like now not being able to sell to Europe and Northern Ireland, that's been the latest hit. Post, oh, the post is the biggest bane of my life. I struggle so much. Yeah, just missing post, very slow post, and then you get somebody that messages you, says, well, my postman says it's fine where we live. But it's, people don't think that your post has to travel through other areas. It's not just from where I live to where you live. People don't always understand. So yeah, it's nothing to do with the business itself. It's all the little bits that are out of your control. That's where the problem lies. Right, next question. If anyone here runs their own business, let me know if you can identify with that one. What are your must travel essentials? My lists. Definitely lists. I have little pouches. I love a pouch. So I have a little pouch. I don't take a purse with me when we are on holiday. I have a little Disney Primark pouch where I have my cards in there, my payment cards, and I take things like plasters, a couple of hairbands, headache tablets, blister plaster, a couple of tissues, all those kind of little bits and pieces. So it's like a little first aid come essentials pack. So I always have that with me. That's one of my essentials. What else? Pack of cards. I've always got a pack of cards on me. I like playing games. And a pen. Oh, and I have a little pen in my pouch as well. Is that what you mean by my travel essentials? Maybe, I don't know. And my phone, because obviously your phone these days has everything on it, doesn't it? Do you have a dream travel itinerary you'd love to book for somebody? No, I don't think, because everyone's so different. Everyone has different needs, and what suits one person wouldn't suit another. So I don't have a dream travel itinerary. I love helping people with their trips. I love giving them advice. Like somebody messaged me yesterday, they're actually going to stay at Bahama Bay in Orlando, which is where we got married. We used to stay there loads, and we went back again into 2022. And it was so nice chatting with her, but being able to give her tips. I screenshot some Google Maps to show her a cut through to avoid the busy road, and just some quick tips of how to get into Disney quicker. So I really, really enjoy that kind of thing. But no, I don't actually have a different sort of like special dream itinerary. What's one goal you're working on this year? That's a really good question. I've been trying to really nail this slower pace, and it's not going very well. I started off better, but I think now leading up to our trip, we're going away, it's just been mental the last couple of months, and I'm working longer hours than ever. I'm really trying to work on my travel business because I see that as my little light at the end of the tunnel. I know I can't keep doing what I'm doing forever. So I'm seeing that maybe as my job that I can retire with, if that makes sense. Having a physical product is hard going. It really is. There's lots of stresses, like I said, that are out of your control. And kit packing, I can't do kit packing forever. When I was doing really well with the business, I would be stood packing at that table for 12, 14 hours a day for 3 days, and then doing all the address labels afterwards, and then having to, you know, there's just a lot of trouble. Not a lot of trouble, it's a lot of physical hard work. That's more what I mean. I would physically ache. My legs, my feet, my back, my hips, my neck, my shoulders. And I used to think about, I can't do this when I'm 60. I really can't. So I am going to need to naturally progress away from that, but I think the business is doing that for me by numbers being so much lower now anyway, to be honest with you. I know I won't be doing this forever. So my goal is to maybe, I love my creative business. I love it so much, and I don't want to give it up because that is my passion. But I'm hoping then that the travel business in time kind of will work alongside that. I kind of think the two go really well together, with us having our travel YouTube channel and obviously doing the travel journals and the Disney side of that, of the business with the creative things, but then having the travel business as well. So the whole lot kind of just, I'm hoping, will merge and become kind of like one, if that makes sense, or at least just complement each other. Well, that's really interesting, because then I go on to the next question. Do you think your travel business will replace the crafting business? I think, yeah, exactly that. I don't want to be doing the monthly kits forever. I know I can't do those for another 10 years. So I'm hoping, like I said, that the whole lot will just sort of like complement each other so that they can work well together. And what does Aid do? What does he enjoy as his hobbies? Aid loves Lego. Aid loves sport. He loves football. He supports Liverpool. He loves motor racing. Yeah, he really enjoys watching sport. He loves movies and he loves music. He's always got music on. It's a little bit of a struggle with us both working from home because he likes to have music on all the time. He even will carry a speaker around, and I find that just when I'm focusing or we've got a radio on in one room, he's got the radios on everywhere, and I just find it's just too much for me sometimes. So that is a little bit of a struggle. We're both very different. I just like quiet, which is quite funny because I'm the noisier one out of the two of us, but I like silence. I really do. Yeah, so that's what he does. He loves getting out and walking. He loves being outside. He's more of an outsidey person, whereas I could spend all week in the house and love it. Whereas he gets the feeling of, what's the word that you use? I can't think what it's called. You know, when you just need to get outside. Yeah, so he loves doing the gardening and things like that, whereas I like being cozy inside. When did you start liking Disney? So I've always grown up with Disney. My mum and her family were into Disney, although they never went there. My grandparents went there when I was, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9. They went to California. My granddad's sister lived out there in Sacramento, so they'd all did a trip to Disney. But they were really into Disney. Like my mum's got a little Cinderella watch from when she was a little girl. My first movie was Snow White. Not that I remember going because I was really little. Yeah, so like we had all the videos. My sister and I used to have the Disney sing-along videos. Our rabbit was called Thumper. Our cat was Tinkerbell. Our dog was Bonnie. I don't know where that came from. That's not a Disney name, is it? But you know, we had Disney books. But we never actually went to Disney as, well, we never really went on holiday as kids. So yeah, so it started from my mum very early on. What do you love most about Disney? I think I love the escapism. I love the nostalgia, all the happy memories we've made over the years. It's the feeling. I like the magical feeling I get inside here. It's here that makes me happy. Like I said, I can take it or leave the rides. I do love them, don't get me wrong, but if I didn't go any rides, it wouldn't be the end of the world. It's just the feeling, the actual feeling I get being there. What you got planned with your businesses for the next year ahead? I think I've kind of explained that one now. And oh, this is a nice one. What does it feel, Lindsay? What does it feel like about nearly the big birthday? She says you don't have to answer this one. I actually, because I'm turning 50, and when this video goes out, I would have just turned 50, which is why we're going to Disney for me to have my 50th birthday. I've ummed and ahed about it. I didn't do very well. I have spoken about this in a previous video. I didn't do very well getting older. And 40 I ignored. I didn't do anything for my 40th birthday, and over the years I've regretted that, and I've decided to embrace it. A friend recently said, or a few months ago, it's a privilege to get older, and she's so right, and that's completely changed my mindset. So I'm excited to turn 50. I feel proud, I feel good, I feel healthy. Yeah, I'm really happy. So I feel absolutely fine, and I'm completely embracing it, and I want to do something to celebrate every single month this year to celebrate turning 50. So I am good with it. Next one, do you speak fluent German? My German's not as good as it used to be. I can speak it absolutely no problem. When we went back out there last year, and then we saw the family the year before. In case you're new to my channel, my dad's mum, my nan, was German, but we moved out there when I was 13, and I got put into a German school not speaking any German. So that was in the late 80s. So I speak German as if I was a teenager still. And obviously I left Germany in the 90s, so I don't have a lot of vocabulary that maybe, I know the word for mobile, Handy, but like email, you see words and you know what it means, but I wouldn't be able to tell you what the German word for email is because there wasn't such thing when I lived out there. But then I watch German YouTube videos and things like that, and I understand it all. So like sometimes, like I remember Parsley, I was watching, I can't even remember what it is now, but I remember having to look up what that was. So it's things like that as an 18-year-old, 16, 17, 18-year-old, I wouldn't know those words. I can't remember coriander either. So yeah, my vocabulary is more based around that, whereas yeah, I can swear and things like that, anything like that. Tell you whether, you know, where's the smoker corner. And there's certain things that in our family we only use German words for. I think when we lived out there, our vocabulary became half English, half German, and our sentences would kind of like just change in between the two languages. But no, when I speak it now, I'm absolutely fine. But yeah, I wouldn't yeah, say it's like it used to be, if that makes sense. I also worked for a German airline afterwards as well, after living there. So I used to speak German all the time there. What does your craft work day entail, as I notice you work long hours? So my days vary. I always start the morning with editing. I get up really early in the morning and edit. I like to have my alarm set for 5:30 and get up. I love doing that. I just get up in my pajamas, sit downstairs and edit. And then I break away, usually about 8 o'clock, go on the treadmill for half an hour and then get showered and ready for the day. And Ade usually brings me a coffee whilst I'm getting ready. So that's usually the start of my morning. And then I go back downstairs fresh. I do things like, when I'm editing, I also do things like emails, and I work on admin and things like that. So I have my Mac that I edit, and then my PC that I do all my admin on, because sometimes that I'm just, the journaling videos are much easier to edit. I can often just leave them playing and I just have to sort of smooth, if I've stopped a video, just smooth little ends over. Or it might be if I've sneezed or something, I'll edit the sneeze out, or Ade might come in and not realise I'm editing, filming, so I'll cut those bits out. So it's not usually too bad. They're really easy, so I can get on and do other admin bits. Sometimes I end up often doing any videoing in the afternoon, and I don't know why I always do that, because sometimes I feel like I'm not in the mood for it then, but I always feel like I need to get all my admin done in the morning. I try and get as much done through the list. But every single day feels completely different. Sometimes we do our crafty Zooms, which I really like. Sometimes I do filming. Yeah, it just completely varies, but I do kind of like, I know each week what has to be done that week, whether it could be that I'm designing a kit and I'm ordering bits and pieces, could be I've got a sale on that I'm organizing. So yeah, it really varies, which is really nice, because it changes all the time. So even though I'm working from home all the time, it varies, and sometimes I'm working downstairs in my office, but then sometimes I'm obviously working up here as well. I do tend to, I work in the evenings when I'm working on my kits. So when I'm doing like a monotonous job, I tend to do that in the evenings. I do tend to continue working through the day. So we generally do a little bit of a walk in the evenings. I make dinner, and then I continue working on the sofa in the evenings as well. I don't like to be in the office in the evenings, so I tend to work then from there. But I'm really bad. Even when my alarm goes off like 5:30, I will start the day by just checking up on messages on Instagram, YouTube, things like that. So I do have a very long work day, but it's very varied, and I love everything that I do. So I feel very, very fortunate that I feel like that. Anyway, I'm going to finish this video now. That was my last question. Thank you so much for those of you that asked. I hope you've enjoyed this little chatty one. It's been lovely sat here chatting with you. And I will be hanging out with you in another video. I've got a weekend video coming up on Sunday actually. So I will see you then. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.